Right now, everybody I'm sure is wondering, hey, is this the moment where we can finally start making these steps forward? Can we finally start to see the performance like we did back in early 2024 where Shib did these, insane X's out of absolutely nowhere? And what's interesting is there are three important signs that I want to show you guys. And the reason why is we're seeing something we haven't seen in a very long period of time. And this could, in fact, be the spark that we've needed to start seeing Shib accelerate. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So I keep pointing towards a couple things in the crypto market. We're seeing sentiment that you typically see around bottoms. People just, burnt out and just fudding their own bags and complaining and moaning and whining. You don't tend to see that at tops. You tend to see that right before the market's about to go on rip-roaring runs. Liquidity injections in the crypto market. Like I talked about yesterday, if you guys missed my my general market video I did, we saw $1 billion in minting done by Circle in terms of USDC. So we're seeing this capital just be thrust into the market as sentiment is reaching these basically bottom moments. And that tends to be kind of our send-off for the crypto market. Now, I'm not saying today is that point. I'm not saying yesterday was that point, but there are a couple things we're going to need to look at very closely. First of all, in terms of the SHIB BTC chart, this is a chart that has obviously been moving down for a long period of time. Institutional money has been the big driver from 2024 into 2025. And so SHIB versus BTC chart has looked pretty ugly for a long period of time. But we are doing something that we haven't seen since all the way back here in September. And this is actually breach our 50-day moving average. Now, it may seem kind of small in the grand scheme of things, and it is for the most part, but it's what comes next that is actually really important because our 100-day moving average sits not far up from here. In fact, it's only about a 5% move. So SHIB has to outpace BTC by 5% for us to be testing this 100-day moving average. Now, we've seen several tests on this and rejections. You guys can see obviously the one here in September, the one here in July, the one back here in May as well. We were actually pretty close here in March too, but we haven't had significant moves above here since basically late 2024. But you guys can see what confirmed moves above that 100-day moving average actually looks like. It led us to pumps. This is actually when SHIB, over the course of late 2024, rallied, how far was that? I'll measure it. That's the easiest way. SHIB rallied 200%. Now, am I saying that 200% is going to happen again? I'm not saying that at all. I'm just pointing to the fact that when SHIB starts making more of these confident moves, it tends to lead us on more significant rallies. But let's look at a couple other things here. In terms of SHIB dominance, right now, we have breached our 50-day moving average there, just as we have done several times here as well. And what are we waiting for? Breach of that 100-day moving average. Again, looking back here in late 2024, it's the same thing. When we do actually start getting confirmed moves above there, that is when SHIB tends to extend and do quite well, okay? So we're getting close to this point. We're seeing some of these early signs that, hey, this might be on the verge of where we're trying to test, meaning that SHIB's rally may not be done. Rallies across the market may not be done. And again, maybe I'm just getting too far ahead of myself, and maybe by the time we get to Monday, we're seeing some retracements again. But there's something else I wanted to show you guys too, and this is actually the SHIB ETH chart. Now, this is a very, very prominent move. We've obviously been talking about this as of late. I've mentioned this a few times over the past maybe week and a half or so, but this is a pretty big move. SHIB versus ETH has actually breached its 50-day moving average in a very strong way. The last time we actually saw this take place, I guess you could say here in late February of 2025, but basically March of 2025. And this extension took place all the way up until late April. And then we obviously know ETH started running and doing incredibly well. But this is an important sign because it shows that SHIB right now has a lot of confidence, but it also tends to put a little momentum in assets as well. So during that time, SHIB ran and it did well. It wasn't a huge major move, right? But we start talking about this rally here for SHIB. I think that was what, 40, 50%, 45%. Okay. So now SHIB currently, from this most recent dip here, has run about 20%. So obviously that means that, maybe we have another 20% in the tank here. Maybe we're talking about SHIB actually testing this longer term trend, which that's a discussion for another video entirely. SHIB getting back within structure and getting back above here, I think that's a really, really strong move for Shib. And then we could be talking about something like back here in 2024. All right, late 2024. So again, I'm not trying to get too far ahead of myself, but these moves above this 50-day moving average is a pretty strong thing. Again, August of 2024, confirmed move, big extension. Same thing back here, February of 2024. So we have to watch a couple of these charts very, very closely. Again, we're still seeing holders setting new all-time high, exchange supply still below actually, 82 trillion right now, looking really good there. So this is what we want to see across the crypto market, but it has to continue. It can't just falter, fall flat, drop down. That's what we've done many times before. But I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. But have a great day. Catch you in the next one. Take care.